Hello, YouTube. Today is March 11th, and we had a ban and restricted announcement. And today we got Ponder unbanned of Vintage. So, one of the best cantrip style decks and combo decks is Doomsday, and we're going to slot them in, removing some of the jank cards. And I'm here with Michael Solymossy, and we're still prepping for his tournament that's coming up. And we're gonna see his decision making on what he believes should come out compared to I guess what I would be taking out. So Mike, you have the floor. Tell me what you decided to put the ponders in for.
Yeah, it's interesting because they announced Ponder this morning, and it was a card I felt like could probably be unrestricted because the Luris decks and essentially any deck that's not combo oriented doesn't really want Ponder because if you hit, like, for example, you hit a good card and then two bad cards, you are going to draw those two bad cards because you're not rifling through your deck that often. But Ponder, specifically for Doomsday and Beseech the Mirror and maybe Underworld Breach, is really exciting. So the one thing I've seen looking on the vintage discords and looking on some other things right now is people are just swapping Preordained for Ponder and keeping Street Race. And as we discussed a couple of days ago on your previous recording, I'm not really a fan of Street Race. I know it speeds up the deck, but I think that people are too in love with trying to kill people on turn two with this deck, not realizing that, like we discussed, it's a lot like TPS where you can control the game in the first couple of turns with Flusterstorm, Force Will, Force Negation, your random one of Thoughtseize, etc., and then win the game on turn three effectively.
Yeah.
So while Ponder's unrestriction definitely ups the ante on how many things you can mental misstep, I don't think those things have value specifically for a combo deck. If I were playing a tempo deck, mental misstep would be absolutely in the deck, but I'm not interested in mental misstepping a random Ponder, let alone, four of them. So still not playing that. Cut days just because you do have to cut a couple of things to make room for extra cantrips. We cut the sleight of hand because now we have enough good cantrips that we should be able to brute force. And we cut the street race to fit in the four ponders, well, the three extra ponders.
Yep.
Otherwise, the deck is exactly the same, and actually, you still have the days in there, so I'm not sure
So did you want
where
the
your
dress
list will.
down in there over the
Yes,
days? The main deck
it
dress
should be
down?
the dress down. Yes, the
Okay.
main deck dress down. So I'm still keeping the dress down because while Sphere of Resistance is a problem, so are basically everything that Hate Bears plays or White Initiative.
Hmm.
So I still like the dress down. I also like dress down because it can stop opposition agents, it can stop Leovold, etc. in your pile, so you can dress down into an Oracle kill still. And
Yep.
the one Undercity Sewers helps you do that. Still playing Dig Through Time because you're going to rifle through your deck even faster now with more turn one cantrips. And then the sideboard, swapped a little bit into the sideboard, decided that we wanted Null Rod after getting paired against Jewel a couple of times. I think I'm fine with trying to chain a Bay for a Sphere of Resistance and maybe potentially playing through one and bouncing a second if they resolve them. Plus, we board in Force Negation.
Yep.
And then having Teferi's Realm. So
Uh,
Teferi's Realm is something that we played long ago. And what it does is at the beginning of each player's upkeep, they name artifact, creature, land, or global enchantments, and then all cards of that type phase out. So it was really good against the workshop decks because no matter how many spheres they had in play, you would just name artifacts, and next thing you know, they have nothing that can interact with you.
yep.
And I want to try that because while getting to three is somewhat difficult, it is helped by the fact that we do have Lotus Petal. And if you resolve that against Hate Bears, or again, Mono White Initiative, you can name creatures and phase out a Thalia, phase out an Archon, phase out even a Peacekeeper, and still go off. So that was the thought process there. Interesting to see how that goes. I hope we get the boarded in and it does some work for us.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a reader for someone.
Oh, it definitely will be.
Okay, then let's jump into a league. Okay, welcome to round number one. We are on the play. I would like to play. Oh, we cannot keep this.
Our curse of not drawing lands in our opener continues.
Yeah, so I guess we're just gonna mull again. Um, yeah, we can keep this. What do we want to bottom? The Oracle or the Dark Ritual?
I think here I'm interested in bottoming either the Dark Ritual or, weirdly enough, the Watery Grave, just because I'm going to lead off with Preordain to try and hit my second land and then potentially have a Ponder. That gets really rough if they play Fear Resistance or Initiative creatures.
Yeah. That's why I was thinking the Dark Ritual.
Yeah, but this hand is actually primed to just hit a Doomsday. And then I really like Thassa's Oracle just because if we draw a Consultation off of these 5 cards, we can just win. But Thassa's Oracle is probably the card that goes down.
Okay, so we'll
Just because there's one Consultation and there's 4 Doomsdays and 1 Necropotence in the deck.
Yep. Okay, so we're gonna bottom the Thassa's Oracle. They kept their 7.
I just cursed us. We're gonna draw a Demonic Consultation off this Preordain.
Nah.
You have to launch with Preordain first because you don't want to ponder and miss your lands and then shuffle. You want to Preordain, put the cards if they're not good on the bottom.
I think we take the Force and we leave the Thoughtseize on top.
I would agree with that because next turn you can Thoughtseize them and Ponder. I mean, we're still looking for some help, but
Yep.
If those cards weren't great, I would disagree with you, but
yeah. Okay, let's see what they are. They kept 7. I guess we let the Jet resolve. Black, Mana Vault's fine.
Jewel probably. Mana Vault signifies Jewel, or most likely Jewel to me.
Yeah, because Beseech doesn't even run it.
There's outliers like Oops All Spells.
True. Yep,
Yeah,
they're
that's
Jewel.
they're just gonna take another Mana Vault.
Yeah,
I wouldn't force it. I'm not interested in forcing their mana. I figured the way they were playing, they were sandbagging Academy.
And we force pitch dress down here.
Looks like it's Tinker, the way they're paying mana. No, because they only had 6. They've only paid 1 blue. I don't know what they're doing. We get tinkered with Force Will backup. We just shrug and hope they don't get us.
Yeah. Do we let them draw 3 or do we counter this? I'm kind of down to counter it and see if they want to fight back over it.
Yeah, and remove the dress down.
Okay. I'm fine with this.
We have the Thoughtseize to come back because they're not going to kill us with damage. So the Watery Grave and the Thoughtseize is irrelevant. I'm going to Ponder first just to see where my deck is going to take me before I Thoughtseize.
Can we just take the Mystical Tutor and Thoughtseize Mystical Tutor upkeep Doomsday?
That's one route. I would take the Mystical Tutor, but yeah, it depends on exactly what's in their hand. We might not have the time to do that.
Yeah. Let's shuffle. Let's not. Let's Thoughtseize. Oh, we're going to take the Seagate. That's all we can take.
Which is fine because they're very close to casting it with the Ancient Tomb in hand. So they're playing off the top of their deck. So I would definitely be interested in
Mystical
for Doomsday.
We have a stop on our upkeep.
I'm guessing with the Watery Grave, they know what's up, so they're not interested in untapping.
We kind of, yep.
They have to draw a card that's important on their turn, or they just die. So make sure Yeah, I was going to say make sure you have the stop on the upkeep.
Grab a.
The other thought is to get Necropotence and draw like 9 cards, but I think Doomsday just guarantees the win, whereas Necropotence, if you don't hit Force of Wills.
Sadly, Necro is an enchantment.
Oh, true. I was thinking Vampiric Tutor as well.
So I think we do like what? Gush.
Probably a Gush file just in case they do play Misstep. I don't think that deck does normally, but
yeah, let's see. Gush, Thassa's Oracle. So if we Gush, we could do like the Gush Thoughtseize Time Walk pile like we usually do and just win. So
that's probably what I would do.
Let's find this Time Walk and then Thoughtseize. So we Gush, floating blue-black, play our Watery Grave, shock ourselves, we Thoughtseize, we Time Walk, and we draw into Oracle. Okay. It's done. And it's Oracle, Thoughtseize, Time Walk, Gush.
Yeah, I was gonna say because if they do draw the Force of Will here, they can hardcast it. So you want to have Time Walk. There's also an argument for putting another draw spell in that stack, but
yeah,
at this point you're just hoping that the cards off the top of their deck aren't good because they could draw Jewels.
Yeah,
they could also draw. They could draw Karn. Okay, there we go. Yeah, they could draw Karn. They could draw Jewel. They could draw Ancestral. They could draw Tinker. Like they have a lot of hits, but they also have so many misses because the deck is half mana.
Yeah. So we want Force of Negation, Shieldred's, and Null Rod.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I'm interested in boarding into Teferi's Response here, or Teferi's Realm, rather. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Just because people like Energy Flux, and yeah, Energy Flux itself is great if you can resolve it after their setup turn. But if they know it's coming, or if they draw enough mana, like this opponent had Tolarian Academy, it makes Energy Flux bad. And Teferi's Realm is never good because you never shut down your opponent's artifacts on their turn because they have to choose it.
They always have it. So what do we cut? Looks like we cut our
This is the old list.
This is the old list.
Yeah, so we cut the days, which we don't have.
Yeah.
We cut the. We can cut the dress down. That card is irrelevant. We can cut the dress down. Let's go back to the list and let's build this as we go.
Yeah. So this is what we want. We want 4 cards.
Yep, and bring those. You can just put those 4 cards and drag them to the right of the dress down.
Okay.
And then the dress down stack would be what we board out. So I'm definitely interested in those. I don't care about Chain of Vapor. They don't play anything other than Trinisphere, really, that I want to chain.
We could cut an island.
You can cut the island to be faster.
Yep. If we're bringing Null Rod, do we cut Lotus Petal?
Truthfully, no, just because we only have the 4 artifacts, and I'd much rather have it to cast Null Rod because we're on the draw.
Yeah.
A thought I've had is potentially cutting a Flusterstorm just because it gets Paradoxical Outcome and Tinker, but not much else.
Would you cut Mystical? Because we're really not mysticaling for anything.
I would cut Mystical. I would cut Mystical here.
So Mystical, Fluster, Island, Dress Down?
I think that's fine.
Okay.
You could keep the island and cut the Lotus Petal, but I think a quicker Null Rod or a turn 1 Sheldred is just too important to me for us to.
For sure.
For us to not have the Lotus Petal.
Okay. Let's submit and hope we do well. We have Null Rod plus Force of Negation. I think we just keep this.
I agree.
2 lands.
I'd be much happier if this was our play on the play hand, but on the draw, you can potentially get better, but you can get a lot worse too. That's how I try to evaluate any of my hands. How close to 50% am I? Am I below 50% or above 50% if I mulligan? And right now, I feel like this hand is probably better than 50% of the 6s we can draw.
Yeah. So they mulled to 6. See what they got. Yep. Sure.
Probably a Grim Monolith setup. A Mana Vault again.
Yeah.
One Tinker.
Um.
Remove the Oracle.
Yeah. You have force backup? You do not have force backup. Nice.
Solid
Nice.
opener from them, though.
Yeah. Very solid.
And this is the one time where that Undercity Sewers is not great because we just draw Black Lotus. Okay.
Oh, what do we do? We could Lotus Ponder?
I'm really interested in Flooded Strand Ponder to try and hit a Dark Ritual. The Dark Ritual Necropotence Null Rod.
Okay. And just be like, we're doing all of it.
Not maximizing your mana as best as you could with the Black Lotus for Ponder, but this is opening us up to, like I said, Dark Ritual Null Rod Necropotence. With them having 2 cards in hand, I'm probably leading with the Null Rod.
Yeah.
Because if they Force of Will the Null Rod is a bigger threat against their deck, but they'd be at 0 cards, and we'd have Necropotence in play.
Yep.
And it's another deck that doesn't do damage.
So let's start with Nullrod.
Now, obviously, they could have Mindbreak Trap, which throws that off.
Trap. They could have Force of Negation.
You would have thought that our combo deck's very good turn 1 when it draws Black Lotus.
Right? Amazing. I'm taking like 9 cards here.
I would be taking probably 11.
11. So 10 puts us at 11 puts us at an even number. So we could take 10. And that puts it as an odd number.
I'm interested in being very aggressive because they're another combo deck. They have 2 cards in hand. So the only chance realistically they have is to draw a counterspell for us or to go off underneath our Necropotence. So I'm really interested in keeping a hand that can kill them with a counterspell. And I'm assuming that I'm going to draw multiple lands. I'm going to draw potentially 2 Doomsdays where I don't necessarily need to. There's going to be things that are obvious to discard.
Yeah. So, well, here...
we discard the Sewers for sure.
So it's exiled. So we're going to exile the Sewers.
Yep, we discard the Sewers, the Rainforest, and the Grave because really we are planning to 1-2 punch them with this, right?
Yeah, there's one more card we need to get rid of.
We don't have a counter spell, but we have multiple Preordains. So next turn we have 2 lands. We have Dark Ritual into Doomsday.
Or do we just Dark Ritual Shieldred them?
I was going to say we also have the ability to Dark Ritual Shieldred them. And then...
So would you get rid of the probe?
No, I would keep the probe because I can use the probe for free information before determining if I should Shieldred them or if I should...
Doomsday them?
Yeah.
So we should get rid of...
the second Preordain.
Second Preordain. Okay.
Yeah. This gives us the most options of either trying to win next turn or going slow, especially because we didn't hit a Force of Will.
Yep.
For what they have.
Now it's our turn. Do we want to just preordain, or do we just want to probe first, even though it's going to cost us 2 life? I guess it's fine to probe.
Yeah, I'm interested in that to see what they might have, because realistically, Force Will, Blue Card, or Mindbreak Trap.
Yeah. Let's see their hand. It's Force of Negation, Grandma. Okay, so
they did have a Force, but they didn't have
the blue card.
The blue card. They're miles away from landing anything that interacts with us. I'm actually down with landing the Skeldred.
Same.
And then I'd probably just draw 3 cards off of Necropotence, even though it's not truly a draw, so you're not getting them back with Sheldred. Because it will turn on our Preordain, it'll turn on any Ponders that we hit. It turns on, well, none of that, but
No counter magic still, which is a little.
we can consult for a Force Will if necessary. We could just attempt to kill them, but we're so far ahead that I feel like there's no need to Doomsday.
Yep. They did nothing. Sadly, don't draw anything. I want to start with Preordain. Bottom. Yep, Sheldred gives us some life. Let's do this. I say we go to combat and we discard and we draw 2 more cards.
Well, I actually have another thought as well.
Mm-hmm.
If we fetch down to 5, and then Dark Ritual Doomsday, we go to 2.
And we draw 1 to recall ourselves in their upkeep
I
before
was
their
thinking
draw.
We could draw Recall and stack, Force and Negation, hell, 3 Force and Negations. The Recall gains us 6 life. We have double Force and Negation, and then when we untap, we have 3 mana for Hardcast Negation.
You just want to do that instead of
That's an option versus drawing 2 cards randomly. The other option we could have, because we know that they have Force and Negation, random card, and then 2 duds, is we could stack Force and Negation, Thassa's Oracle, and then next turn just cast the Thassa's Oracle, and with that on the stack, activate Necropotence with the trigger on the stack.
So we fetch right now, we go to 5. We activate Necro, go to 4.
Dark Ritual, free. Yeah, that's a free card.
Yeah, Dark Ritual Doomsday. We'll do 1, go to 1, and make an Ancestral Recall, and then we'll Ancestral in our upkeep, putting Thassa's Oracle, negation.
Yeah, I'm down with that play. It guarantees us a counter spell, and if they drew a blue card off of that Force Negation, it incentivizes them to use it, right?
Yeah. So it's gonna be Ancestral, Thassa, Force Negation. Time Walk. I guess it doesn't really matter.
Throw another Doomsday in there, so that if something goes wrong, we can just recycle the stack.
That's true. Okay. So
that last card is irrelevant.
Yeah. Done. So Doomsday, Thassa, Force, Ancestral. We'll pay a life because we want to draw that. Hit okay. Attack.
And if we really wanted to waste time, we could have actually figured out what the card was that we've exiled before the Doomsday.
So we're gonna go to our end step. We get 2 cards. Okay, we got a Force in that, and then in their upkeep, we're going to recall ourselves.
Yeah, and the Force of Will is great because if they don't counterspell this somehow, we're going to draw 3 and gain 6.
Yeah. We gain 6, and now we have
this is actually a better play to put the Thassas in there just in case they somehow interact with Necropotence.
Yep. Yeah, because Justin got me with a Chain of Vapor once. Well, technically, we could just Thoughtseize. We can Thoughtseize Thassa's Oracle here. So I'm down for that.
Yeah, there's The only thing is you're opening yourself open more for Mindbreak Trap, but the Thoughtseize obviously clears the way for that.
Yep, let's take the force.
No, I was going to say it doesn't matter, but you take the outcome because they can't cast it either way, but
Yeah.
the game ends.
Yep. Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Nullrod, MVP.
Nullrod was MVP. Yeah. Welcome to round number 2. We are on the draw. Feel like that name looks familiar. Do we keep this knowing that Undercity Sewers?
We have a probe and a force of will, so we're somewhat insulated.
Yeah, I think we're
So I
gonna
think we can
keep.
keep it. Obviously, I'd be happier if we could preordain on turn 1.
Yep. There's a jet. I always want to counter these like things. Okay. Well, I'm down to leave with Undercity Sewers now. With
I think you lead with the Gitaxian probe first, either way, just to see what else they have up their sleeve.
Yep. Okay. Probe them. Pay 2 life. Wait. Cancel.
Make sure you target them.
Yeah, I think I targeted myself there.
I think you did too.
Yeah, let's see what their hand is. They are Oath. They have Force of Will, Time Walk, Vamp, no lands, Besage You. Okay.
So they're gonna vamp. They're gonna vamp for a Orchard. Then Orchard Oath with Force of Will backup. But they're gonna strip mine us regardless. So
we just go Ponder.
The only thing I can think about is that if we go Misty Rainforest Go,
mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna think this through. If we go Misty Go, they vamp. Then they play Orchard Oath. They force back. They're left with both Seiju and a blank in hand, assuming they don't draw a blue card for that force well, which they won't because they're drawing the Orchard.
Yep.
So they'll be left with just both Seiju in hand. And then on our turn, that gives us the chance to draw a Doomsday right off the top.
But we can't win.
Well, if we draw it off the top, we can, because we can Doomsday and then Ponder or Preordain into it. So I think to maximize our chance to beat their hand, we have to go Misty Rainforest Go.
Okay. Yeah, because I guess we could Ponder Preordain into and
you could draw a Gush off that.
Lotus.
You could draw Lotus. Lotus doesn't matter because of Dark Ritual, but
well, no, because they'll strip our land. Oh, they didn't vamp. Or are they gonna vamp now in their upkeep? What? Did you an Underground Sea?
So we know their entire hand.
Yeah. Time Walk's
I am actually really hold on. I'm actually really into countering this. Removing Dig Through Time. They tap their Strip Mine too.
Yeah, I'm confused on what they did because now they don't have force backup.
Right, exactly. They don't have force backup. We can fetch into our Watery Grave because
we want to thin.
Yeah, we can thin one in order to try and hit a Doomsday. A Doomsday is immediately lethal. Necropotence would be really good.
Yeah.
Another counterspell can actually fight their ult, assuming they vamp for their Orchard. If we hit Lotus, which actually gives us more options.
I think we Lotus crack for blue Ponder?
I think so. It's challenging. I always like the Preordain first because I can put the cards on the bottom, but I want to see 3 so I can just find Doomsday. So I think we are going to.
I think it has to be Lotus blue though to maximize our draws, right?
I think that doesn't matter because we really only need 1 blue to get going, and we have the Underground Sea. So I think we want to keep the Lotus around and give them a Boseiji target. So I think we can Ponder. We Ponder. We try to hit the Doomsday. If we hit Doomsday, we can win.
Do we just any order shuffle this?
don't do any order because there was a bug where it would always put the top card back. So yeah, we'll definitely shuffle that.
Like to shuffle. Now it might be Lotus Brainstorm, right? Because we'll need blue mana floating. Right? Because we Lotus, we Brainstorm, we maybe Ponder, we reshape our Preordain, we reshape our hand.
I think I'm into Lotus Preordain first because again, we're just digging into try to hit Dark Ritual or Doomsday rather. Excuse me. So this way we can put 2 dots down, and then we can Brainstorm.
We just have to Brainstorm.
Yeah, we Brainstorm, and then if we have to, we can Undercity Sewers to get past one of them.
There's a negation and Preordain.
So I would actually put Undercity Sewers and Dark Ritual.
Undercity Sewers, Dark Ritual. We play our land.
Then, yeah, we play our land. If they strip us, we can vamp.
Yep.
If they vamp for the Orchard in order to play the Oath, we counter it.
Yep.
I feel like we're in this game much more than we should be.
Yeah, so we can't counter this vamp. So this vamp resolves, they're gonna get something, and they're probably getting the Orchard, and we're gonna counter it because they have nothing. Because we know that their hand has no blue mana. Unless they're just going
the only other thing they could have gotten is gotten Ancestral.
Yeah. So there's the Besagio, sure. Black, vamp. Ancestral.
Yeah, we know their last hands are Force the Will, Oath, so we definitely force the negation that.
I think we grab our own Ancestral.
I think we grab Necro.
Oh, wait, that's also a very good card. Yep. Necro. Yep.
Like, yeah, we're at 14 and we're only going to have 1 land in play, but we can draw essentially 8 cards.
Yep.
Because their Oath doesn't do anything unless they draw the Orchard. Because if we're putting a creature in play, they're shuffling for game 2.
Yeah.
So I think we draw 8 or even 9 cards because, again, the Atraxa is not going to be what kills us with damage. It's the 6 cards they get off of it that ends the game.
So if we do 8, that puts us to 6. So maybe we do. I kind of want to be able to hold up Force of Will just in case. So maybe we do just do 8.
Yeah, I like 8 because we have no cards in hand. 8 or 9 for me here is good because, again, I'm expecting that I'm going to get doubles of something that I don't necessarily need.
Yeah, let's just do 8.
Yeah, it gives us the option to fetch land if necessary. It gives us a Force of Will. They still do have that Force of Will in hand, so we want to be insulated from that. And we didn't hit a Ritual or a land.
We hit a Ritual land. We hit Ancestral. I think we just get rid
of. We
this.
hit 2 Doomsdays.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we get rid of one of the Doomsdays.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna keep the Preordained to ditch to our Force of Will.
Yeah.
The Chain of Vapor can chain our Necropotence if necessary.
Can chain their Oath.
Oh, we could just chain our Necropotence to unlock our draw step.
Yeah. They didn't
You
hit
might
anything.
be interested in. I might be interested in doing that. They might have a blue card.
Well, then we just force back.
Yeah. Right. We have the Force of Will back. And we have more than enough to continue going off
So let's
if we hit Doomsday.
chain
So
our Necro.
yeah, I'm interested in that just because we have Ancestral and Force Preordain, and we have Gush. So we have essentially everything we need.
Yep.
Cancel. You don't want to sacrifice a land.
No. I do want to draw a card. So do we pedal? What do we do here?
They already used their Strip Mine. So this is another situation where I don't think we have to go as fast as most people would. I almost would want to preordain and try to hit my land.
So
because we can always remove the Time Walk to Force Below, and we've unlocked our draw steps. So we are in no hurry, and anything that we do that gets them to lose this Force Below prematurely is fine. And that's actually great. We put Dark Ritual on top, then Flooded Strand, draw Flooded Strand. The next turn we draw the Ritual and clear Sailing. Just don't fetch.
and we don't want to fire out this Ancestral in their upkeep, though. That's the other
No,
thing.
because we want to draw the Dark Ritual and just go Dark Ritual Doomsday.
Yep.
This Ancestral Recall might not even matter.
Yeah.
But if we fire it off, we lose the Dark Ritual.
Mm-hmm.
And I did just say we don't have to go fast, but we eventually have to win the game.
Yeah.
And we're granted all the tools to win the game right now. So the only thing that stops us is if they hit a Flusterstorm. And if they hit a Flusterstorm, we have like Ancestral and Time Walk and Gush to come back into it anyway.
Yep. So let's Dark Ritual. Let's Doomsday.
So the thing I like is we could build a stack that wins with both Gush and Ancestral.
Yeah,
and then we can Gush. We can Gush, which would force them to counter if they had a Flusterstorm, and then we can back up with Ancestral. So we remove Time Walk to force.
Yeah. They removed
Mystical Tutor.
So we're just gonna force now pitching Time Walk.
Removing Time Walk, because then if they do have Flusterstorm as their last card, I mean, they should Flusterstorm the Doomsday, but if they don't, to try and get one over on us.
What's happening here? Force.
You have to exile the force. Exile blue card.
Yeah, I've been clicking the Time Walk so much. You have the Fluster. You don't have hard cast negation. Okay, so what I'm thinking about, we have our land draw for turn, right? So we can do
Black Lotus,
Thassa's Oracle,
Thassa's Oracle.
There's our Black Lotus, Thassa's Oracle, Pact the Negation, Flusterstorm, because we'll Gush into Pact plus Fluster, floating a blue, play our land for turn, and be able to Ancestral into Thassa's Oracle.
Well, we want to lead. We want to lead with the Ancestor Recall.
No, I think we lead with the Gush because we can float the mana, right?
But if we lead with Gush, you need to put Gitaxian Probe or something else in the stack so that you can draw the third card. So leading with Ancestor Recall opens you up to Mental Misstep, but it also obviously opens you up to Flusterstorm. So we want a stack here that can kill with Gush, but we want to open with Recall.
Really? Because if we Gush, right? We Gush into Pact, Flusterstorm.
Yeah, and then you have to pass the turn.
No. Then we have a blue mana floating.
Oh, you're saying get the Pact and cast the Recall and go to 0. Yeah, that would be fine. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you did,
we need one more.
The only issue is if they counterspell the Gush, I still want to kill them with Ancestral. They have one card in hand, so I think what we want to do, knowing the type of deck they play doesn't play Dress Down, is not put the Pact in. And I think we want to go Black Lotus, Flusterstorm, Thassa's Oracle as the first 3 cards that you draw.
Okay.
And then maybe,
Thoughtseize
at
Pact.
that point it's irrelevant. Maybe Pact and another Thassa's. You're going to go to 2, so we don't want the Thoughtseize.
Oh, I guess, yeah, another Thassa's would be fine.
Because the Flusterstorm, Well, the Flusterstorm doesn't even isolate us from their Flusterstorm, but the
Yeah.
double Stasis Oracle would.
Yeah.
And if they had a Flusterstorm, unless they're sandbagging it
They would have cast it
hard,
by now.
they should have used it by now.
Okay, so this is done. So I think it's Thassa's on the bottom. One of the Thassa's on the bottom.
Yeah, then the pack.
Then the Pact. Then the Fluster. Or no, then the Thassa.
Yeah.
Fluster. Black Lotus.
Realistically, they probably have nothing,
Yeah.
but
It's good to be safe.
there's no reason not to play around the Flusterstorm that they have the best of your ability.
Yep. There's our
We
thing
should have
for
played the
turn.
Watery Grave though, because the
Oh yeah.
I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I was thinking it comes into play tapped, but I guess it doesn't matter because you're just killing them this turn.
Yeah, I think they're white F6. Yep. And we
Interestingly
have
enough, if
double
they do have
counter.
Flusterstorm, we could pay for one of them, fluster the others, and pact one. So we
Yeah.
actually were isolated from it.
Okay. And then what do we want? We don't want Shieldreds, obviously. I think we want a dress down.
The dress down.
Want surgical?
I sometimes bring it in against Oath. I don't think against the current iterations of Oath it's very good.
The dress down, force a negation, and then what are we cutting? Chain of Vapor wasn't bad. Mystical Tutor doesn't really get us anything, so that can come out.
I cut Mystical, and then in this matchup, potentially you can cut either a Lotus Petal. You could even cut a Flusterstorm, though they do play Show and Tell.
Would you ever cut a Dark Ritual?
You could cut a Dark Ritual. You could even cut a Singleton Doomsday.
Oh, about that Doomsday, but I'm down to do like this. Mystical Dark Ritual for this.
I mean, cutting a Lotus Petal or cutting an Island and just understanding that you're the combo deck is also acceptable.
Yeah. But I think we're more of a control deck now.
I think against this version of Oath, you just need to stop them from doing something relevant in the first two turns, and then you're just so much better than they are.
Yep. So let's submit the deck. Okay. It's not horrible. I would keep this. We can bounce an Oath.
I'm not super psyched about it, but I would keep it as well. We're on the draw, which gives us an additional card. I mean, we're on Preordain or Bust, but the Dig Through Time is close to getting turned on.
Yep. They just gonna tinker?
Show and Tell. Oh, it is Tinker. I would remove. Ooh.
I think we remove the Dig and we chain something.
I was thinking the Chain of Vapor can be live. So yeah, I would agree with that. That's why I said, ooh, I'm like Chain of Vapor on their Bolas Citadel.
Yeah. Oh.
Is a spicy one.
See, go get your Citadel. I'm gonna try to bounce it and hopefully that resolves. Brick, please. Oh, okay.
I think I Preordain first off of Sapphire.
I think I chain in response.
Chain in response. Good thing we didn't just lead out with the chain.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice. And now this Lotus Petal could turn on a Doomsday. It could turn on Necropotent. But I'm more interested in
Are we just
playing the Preordain.
So what? Oh.
I might actually go Lotus Petal Preordain.
Yeah, because now we need to do stuff.
And then I'd bottom both of those because they have, 3 cards in hand? 2 cards? I can't read from here.
3
cards in hand.
Yeah, I say we just cast this jet. Try to maximize not getting killed by Mind Break Trap at some point.
Yeah, if I was playing ult, I'd be having Mind Break Traps in my board right now just because Ponder being unrestricted.
Yeah. Land is fine. Fluster's okay. I'm just gonna pass the turn and rebuild my hand.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a race right now off the top of our deck from the looks of things.
Yep.
I was going to say cast that just to give yourself force negation.
Yep.
Plus, if they both stage you it, if they kept their both stages in just to have mana sources, it's really not even bad, right? We get the Surveil land, we keep up Flusterstorm, or we just get another land.
Yeah. I
I'm fine. I'm fine with Brainstorm. It's not a threat.
let it resolve. Okay.
So, like, obviously, Brainstorm is a great Magic card, but in the grand scheme of things, they're digging for something. Just let them dig for it and then counter what they find.
Yeah, with double counter.
If I did have Misstep in the deck and it was in our hand, I'd be interested in it. But
Yeah.
specifically in this situation, because we're down on cards.
I was gonna snap fluster it if you said nothing. So probably for the best.
No, I'm more interested in flustering a show and tell. Or force negating that. Tap your jet and leave a blue in pool. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't think it really matters.
There's a lot of considerations that need to be made with that brainstorm play and with a lot of these plays, but it really comes down to what am I afraid in their deck and what do I know is in my deck. And I feel like my deck draws better off the top. So I'd rather have Mind Aid.
They're also
Yeah, they're on
brainstorm
one card.
blocked right now.
Well, they drew one of them, so they have one turn where they're brainstorm locked, yeah. And we removed Dig, unfortunately, which, I mean, we don't even have two blue, but that would be one of the better spells we have. Demonic.
I think we just demonic here.
Now, the interesting thing is we can obviously demonic for Ancestral. The other thought process is demonic for Necropotence, but I think we have to get Ancestral.
Yeah, but Ancestral plays into Mental Misstep. I'm down to get Necro and hope.
The problem with Necro is if we don't draw something off the top immediately, we're punished. And in this game state where they have one card and one card that they know from Brainstorm, I think we just need to climb back into it, and Ancestral Recall is their best option for doing that.
And they're drawing Bolas and Citadel here.
Oh, that's true, yeah, because we did put the Bolas Citadel back in their hand. That's a great point. Oh, they have Go and Tell to put the Citadel back in play.
Yeah, we just have to hope the Citadel whiffs, I guess.
If we would have gotten Necropotence, we could have put Necro in play off that.
Yeah. Let's hope the Citadel whiffed. So the Citadel potentially whiffed. I think I still slammed this Recall and hope. Right?
Absolutely.
Aha. Of
We had
course.
Misstep on the top.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it can still whiff. Their deck full
Both
of
is the worst Citadel deck. So when I was preparing for Eternal Weekend, I didn't have Citadel in my deck until 3 days prior to the event.
fine. Both is fine. Run in Atraxa. Lotus. Okay.
They're just getting through their deck as fast as I can.
Yeah, but now they are at such a low life that Atraxa might not be viable.
They still throw the attraction because we don't do damage to them. More importantly, is it's making their counter spells less viable.
What do we do? Do we just take the force negation?
I think we have to put it back in shuffle because if we take the force negation, we are 2 cards dead against Colossus Citadel. So we have to shuffle and
Hope. That's a Doomsday. Let's hope they just keep running dead. Can happen. How much mana does Atraxa cost? 7, right?
7. Oh, they found the orchard.
Yeah. It should just stop here, yeah. What can we hit?
Dark Ritual. If they didn't have the orchard, I'd keep a land, but yeah, now it's lost. We need too much time. They're gonna hit us with the Atraxa.
Just thought. Okay. Let's go to game 3. Let's see the game. Go to game 3. Yep.
Like if I had a 3rd black mana, I'd be getting Necropotent, but unfortunately,
Yeah. Well, we cut. What did we cut? We cut Mystical and a Dark Ritual. Do we want the Dark Ritual back now?
on the play, I'd bring in the Dark Ritual.
And then
On
cut
the play, I'd actually
island?
bring them. We cut the island because I want the Lotus Petal to maximize my turn 2s. And while I'm not necessarily needing to be a turn 2 deck, I am going to bring in the Mystical Tutor so that I can pressure them as much as possible.
What do we cut for that?
In this matchup, we could cut one of the cantrips, probably one of the Ponders.
Something like that?
I'm cutting Ponder before Preordain because of the situation of hitting 1 good spell and 2 bad spells, whereas
Yeah.
Preordain puts the bad spells on the bottom.
I like that. Yes, I'd like to be on the play. I'll keep this. It's double counter.
Yeah, I absolutely want to keep this. And the goal would be to Preordain into like another land and obviously a Doomsday or a Necropotent.
Yeah.
A land plus another cantrip would be fine. 2 cantrips. Land is the best case scenario by a very far margin.
Yeah. Okay, so they kept their
During your upkeep.
Yeah. Preordain. I'll put this on the bottom.
I'm bottoming the force negation, assuming that I'm not going to have to double counter something and fight over Ancestor Recall.
Yeah.
My experience with Oath is they don't normally have a strong hand with enough counter spells to really protect. One downside would be not drawing a land because I really want to fire off Ancestor Recall to hit a land. So this is an obvious force negation, ditching Dig.
I don't know if we fire. Do we fire off this Ancestral?
Let's fire off the Ancestral because I desperately want to land. You're playing into force negation, but you're also playing around.
Well,
they have to miss that again. They have 4 cards in hand. We have Gush. If you force, we draw 3 unknowns. Probably not. Because we have Gush, we have Dark Ritual, we even have Demonic Tutor, so drawing a land can help with Demonic Tutor for the Doomsday. We have the Force of Will. Make sure you hit them to send the message. We have the Force of Will to isolate ourselves from broken plays.
Yep.
If I hit a land, I'm probably Demonic Tutoring for Necropotent.
Yep.
I don't want to get into another situation where they play show and tell and we have nothing. That was kind of awkward. This time, though, more importantly, if we hit a land or a mock, we have castable Necropotence.
Mm-hmm.
See, so now we have Forcible plus Fluster backup, so depending on what spells they play. So just be Spirit aggro. I have won a lot of games by just turning Spirit sideways.
Yeah.
Depending on how the game shapes up, you get into these awkward situations where your opponent doesn't want to give you more spirits.
Mm-hmm.
One spirit's not threatening. Two spirits, depending on game state's not threatening, but three spirits is almost often a threat.
So we're going to...
I fluster this because I want to keep Gush in hand.
Yeah.
And obviously, if they fight it, then we can force back. And again, one of the thoughts going through my head real quick is they don't have mana for their own fluster.
Mm-hmm. So us getting all this value is fine by me. Oh, I guess we're just gonna keep fighting them.
Yeah, I think that's the play. There's a world where I am casting Demonic Tutor off of a ritual here, but with Ancestor Recall being gone,
yeah,
the best thing we could ritual for is a land, and then just have Dust, Chain of Vapor, Force Will at 2 damage a turn is not super scary.
Yeah.
Getting Necropotence when we can't cast it and just hoping they slam a show and tell is probably not a winning battle. This is a risky run with so few lands boarding one out. But now we hit the Watery Grave, so now we can Demonic for Necro, assuming Demonic resolves.
Life, yes.
If they fight over this Demonic, I just let them fight over it.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Because next turn I have Gush and I have Chain of Vapor Force Will, so well, not like we had to stay over fighting over it anyway. One of the cute things you can do is if they do show and tell, you can Gush in response and show one of the lands back in play.
Yeah.
And then just Chain of Vapor, whatever they show in play. But the problem there is, again, the Attract is not really what kills you. The cards they draw is. You only have 4 minutes on your clock, so
yeah.
We definitely want to be conscious of our time here.
Yep.
You can just click the 1 on your keyboard instead of OK in most instances, right?
I've definitely messed up that way too many times.
Oh, that's fair. So now I'm going to cast Gush after combat. If I don't hit anything, I can play the Watery Grave untapped, or tapped rather. If I do hit something, I can try to keep going.
So blue. Okay. Do we play the Water Grave untapped?
I mean, at this point, I'd probably just play a C because that Watery Grave is probably not going to come into play. But yeah, just say no. Well, yeah, say yes because we want to vamp for.
Vamp for like probably Necro.
Vamp for Necro is very good. They do have 6 cards in hand, so the chances of a Necro resolving even with our Force Will are pretty low.
Yeah.
Vamp for Necro is pretty good. I believe we removed Dig Through Time again. Otherwise, Dig Through Time would be another option.
Mm-hmm.
Just Vamp for Time Walk, if they had given us another token, would have been something I would have considered.
Yeah. Grab this Necro. They're surgical.
Brought in Surgical.
That's fine. Starting my Flusterstorm. Yep.
So they have a Show and Tell in their hand with Forcible backup.
Potentially.
That is what I put them on. If they're taking Flusterstorm as the ult deck, is that they have a Show and Tell in their hand that they're going to be casting.
Let's hope they don't. Do I just let that resolve?
Yeah, at this point, I think you're, for time reasons and otherwise, I think you just have to hope that your deck plays a little bit better than theirs.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that them having Ancestral doesn't mean I'm right with the Show and Tell plus Counterspell backup.
Yeah. But we'll see. Sure. Yep.
Here comes the Show and Tell.
Nothing.
Oh, no Show and Tell.
Thing. Can they almost hard cast as a Traxa? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No.
They're 2 away. But they do randomly have all the colors.
Yeah.
Don't forget to fetch for your Undercity.
Yeah.
It's just free value.
Okay.
Stop that.
I don't think we cast it.
And then I was just gonna say I'm interested in actually holding it. Granted, you do have Dark Ritual in the Force Will too, but I'm into just attacking them since you're actually very close. And if they do cast an Atraxa, I'm interested in Force Atraxa, probably hard cast Force Atraxa, and then when they counter back, Pain of Vapor it.
Well, we won't be able to do that because it costs too much. That'd be too much mana.
Well, no, because we're gonna go to our turn and ponder and then paint it on our turn.
Okay.
Granted, they can cast it again, so we have to ponder into something threatening, but they're going to give us 4 tokens here. So they're going to have to stack a land and not die.
Yeah.
If things go well for us, obviously. They could just have double counter spells with Atraxa.
Or nothing again. Okay.
They may be thinking that they could clock us. So now I'm interested in ponder into a Flusterstorm to just have, well, Flusterstorm doesn't matter because they have a million mana.
I think we just hit okay.
Yeah, attack them first off. I think we time walk, and if they counter it, just be like, all right, cool, that's fine. The only thing that's stopping us is an attraction. We've got that covered with Chain of Vapor.
Yep. So slow with my buttons.
That's why you need to learn how to use hotkeys.
I'm walking. Force of
We did have the
negation.
Atraxa.
Pitch the Atraxa. Okay, that's fine. I think we just go to next turn. And we have Force backup plus chain.
Now, again, they could chain and sacrifice to chain one of the tokens, which they would have to do, but most likely they're going to be giving us tokens off Atraxa. See, and this is interesting because this is a game I don't think we had any right to win.
Correct.
Based on how it was unfolding, but it was not a 0%, so there's no reason to keep playing, or to not keep playing, rather.
Yeah. We're here for round number 3, and we are on the play. Guess I'd like to be
I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the guy that played the red-green deck in the first round of recordings he did, right?
Yeah, I believe so as well. What do we do? Should we just mull and look for like a kill?
4 mana sources and 2 rituals is for sure a mulligan. If this Preordain misses for Up a Creek, I think our 6 could just be better.
This is better.
Like I said, I think our 6 could be better, and you could just bottom a Thassa's Oracle.
Keep. Done. I think I just...
Now, I would Ancestral in the upkeep off of an island off the Flooded Strand, mainly because while we have that information that they probably are playing the same deck before, because if I remember correctly, this gentleman or person, I should say, constantly plays the same things, but there's a possibility they're playing something different.
Especially with Ponder being unbanned.
Yeah, you're lining up to potentially Demonic Tutor for Demonic Consultation.
Yep, that's what I was thinking about. Oh, there's some red.
Red and green.
Are they looking to Pyroblast me? I'm down to probe. See what's in your hand. You have a Pyroblast.
Veil.
Interesting. Yeah.
You put a Flusterstorm to stop them from drawing, but I don't really care about that.
Yeah, because
I would probably play Underground Sea and Time Walks because it does get you a mana closer for your spells and potentially draw a Dark Ritual and just Dark Ritual Demonics for Consult, play Oracle Consult next turn.
Yep.
And if anything, you can untap with Flusterstorm up, which arguably doesn't do much in this matchup, I'd imagine, not knowing their deck.
Pyroblast
on
the
you
Oracle.
Do have... Yeah, Pyroblast on the Oracle. You do have the Fetch Land, so we can take it slow and go Fetch Land into... Well, now we could just dig through time if they tap out ever. But we have the Fetch Land into the Surveil Land.
Well, should we just... I think we still Demonic Tutor here.
I would agree with that. I think we Demonic Tutor. Because we have Flusterstorm against anything that they're going to do. We have the other land against a Wasteland.
Yep.
If they play any threats, we basically have everything covered we would worry about, barring that they're playing like a Chalice or a Sphere of Resistance.
Yeah. Which I don't think we saw Chalice. What does that say?
Main deck, Damping Sphere. Okay, so Damping Sphere makes your things cost more, which is actually fine, because we can play the Thassa's Oracle, and the Thassa's Oracle makes Demonic Consultation cost 2, but we've got that covered. So it says if a land would tap for more than 1, it taps for 1 colorless instead, and then all spells, I don't remember if it's non-creature, I think it's all spells, cost 1 more for each spell played previously.
Okay. Interesting.
So it's cool. I love that card. I almost played it in Oath. I would actually top that.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I would top that just in case they somehow have something to interact with us. I can't imagine that they do.
It would have to be Mental Misstep.
Or like Simian Spirit Guide into Red Blast.
Yeah.
They have 6 cards in hand, but if they do Red Blast the Oracle, if they Red Blast the Oracle, the game continues and we've just got more spells. But if they don't, like, the game just ends, and you're gonna have to pay 1 more for that because of the Sphere.
Yep.
Questing Feldegriff is always what I would name. Velvet Spirit Guide's Veil. That doesn't stop him from losing the game, though.
Nope.
I really shouldn't say him not knowing.
Well, does that mean he would have to pitch another Spirit Guide to like the Mental Misstep, I guess, as well?
Yeah, correct. I forgot You Are Already Dead as a card.
I think he's just looking through the list, yeah.
Out of the list, yeah.
Okay.
So they've got at least 2 main deck Veils. They do play creatures. I would probably bring in, I mean, they play Red Blast, which is kind of awkward with the Murktide. I would bring in the Pithing Needle, the Opposition Agent.
Yep.
The Dismembers, probably.
Would you bring in Voidwalker? Because they're like potentially because of Goif?
Voidwalker can swing through to kill a Planeswalker, so it's probably better than something we have.
Is it better than Murktide?
I would bring in Murktide as well, just to have that extra. I would be for sure bringing out the Flusterstorm. So I'm not interested in doing like the Red Blast Veil of Summer fight.
Yeah.
I think Thoughtseize weirdly probably doesn't have much value here.
Because I think they're just going to play their stuff.
I'm going to cut Mystical just because of Red Blast and Veil. I'm not really, again, too interested in that.
We got 5.
And then I probably keep the Force of Negations in, but don't board in the 3rd. Okay. Just because I'm not super excited about them. I mean, I guess they probably play still the Flip Enchantment Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Yeah. So yeah, maybe we are bringing that in. Maybe boarding.
Do we want Dress Down?
I was actually just going to suggest maybe boarding it out.
I don't think it really does much.
It can blank a Goif, it can blank a Collector Oof, which they probably play 4 of, but I'm not really interested in blanking a Collector Oof.
Do you want Voidwalker, you think?
Let's bring in Voidwalker and let's board out like Active Negation.
Active Negation? Okay.
Yeah. They can Red Blast, but they're not a blue deck. I'm not worried about them having Dress Down. I'm not worried about them having a Force. Mindbreak Trap is a thing, but we're going to play a long attrition game anyway.
Yeah, unless they have like turn 1 Minsk like they did that one time. But I'm definitely down to like just snap counter or Force of Will. This hand looks bad.
I'm almost. Did they mulligan or no? They kept 7. I'm almost interested in keeping with the turn 1 Dossy Voidwalker, but it's probably not good enough because the Murktide plus an extra land.
Yeah, I'm gonna mull this.
I think we could do better. It's iffy, but oh well. We did better, but I think we have to put down a Dark Ritual. Do we? Because we have Demonic Consultation. We have the Demonic Consultation kill. I want to keep Forcible plus Murktide. I think we keep this and we bottom a.
Cool.
I almost think we bottom either Ritual or Thassa's Oracle.
Because we could we could Necro.
We can Necro on turn 1, right? So let's bottom the Thassa's Oracle. We have a Force of Will against the turn 1 Sphere effect. They have Damping Sphere in their main, so I'm imagining that they have Chalice and other things in their sideboard that they can bring in.
Yeah.
Hopefully they just play something like Null Rod. People think Null Rod is great against Doomsday, and I don't think it's a solid plan.
I think we counter this.
Truthfully, with Necropotence, I almost say let it go, but because they're on 4, and because we're going to Necro anyway, yeah, let's counter it. Because if they have Pick Spell into Veil or into Red Blast, our Force of Will is not doing anything anyway, so let's be offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, being offensive and just trying to go over the top with Necropotence. Well, that had I known that was there, and we didn't have Necropotence, but the bad part is we are walking right into a Mindbreak Trap. But if they have Mindbreak Trap, it is what it is. Like
Yeah.
you can't play through literal everything. I think we Demonic Tutor before casting the other ritual, though.
Yep.
They have their misstep.
That's fine.
Well, if they have a Wasteland now, it gets real bad for us.
Yeah. I guess we hope. No Wasteland? Oof, that's fine.
It basically has no text until we draw the Black Lotus off the top of our deck.
Yep.
Or Sapphire.
What do we do here?
Hmm.
I think we just Needle
They use their
Wasteland.
misstep. They use their misstep. They use their misstep. They do have Pyroblast and Simian Spirit Guides, but they have 3 cards, and granted they'll untap with the Taiga open. We're afraid of Wasteland, but we need to have some sort of action. I'm fine with just Pithing Needle, but I think the play now we're kind of forced into Dark Ritual Demonic for Ancestral and then play the Needle and keep Sapphire Ancestral in hand.
Okay.
Because we're far away from Necro, we're far away from Doomsday. Obviously, we have the Ritual, but Necro would have been good. Doomsday not so good. Ancestral is the way we get into this if they have like a Strip Mine.
Yeah.
We could both Deiju us to turn on the Pithing or turn off the Pithing Needle and turn on their Wastelands. If they do that, we just get a land and Ancestral though.
Yeah. Nope. Let's hope this resolves. You have a Red Blast out of your 2 Red Blasts in your deck. Sure. It's not bad.
I'm going to play the Misty and Path.
Yep.
They're not applying any pressure. If I need to turn on the Sapphire, I can do that.
With the Dismember, yeah. But we're probably going to fetch for the Surveil land.
Yeah, I would say Island if we didn't already have Wasteland covered.
That's fine. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not something we care about. Now I would fetch for the Surveil land since I'm pretty sure we could stack a pile that
Yeah,
ends the game with Doomsday.
and Dismember, yeah. Grab sewers.
I love that sewers, man. That thing is so good. I don't ever want to, I don't think, see like you can bottom the preordain. You can tell I'm a spry boy at heart because I still say bottom. Okay. I think at this point I am actually casting Ponder just to try and set up my next turn because while we're not under any pressure, there could be pressure. So consultation, preordain, underground. See, I'm interested in actually. There's two thoughts. You can draw the preordain, keep the consultation on top, and then either fetch or draw consult.
Yeah.
I guess the question is how likely are we to find Vampiric Tutor or one of our Thassa's Oracles?
Well, no, we
There's
could
not really
console for
another reason to
Doomsday.
have. We could consult for Doomsday. That's another option.
We could take
And then
the
actually, if we draw the preordain, we could consult for Doomsday, Dark Ritual Doomsday, and preordain,
yeah.
and we could turn on our Sapphire, which gives us Gush into Time Walk next turn. We're
Yeah.
completely sealed down though, which is the problem.
Well, what if we just put the? What if we just draw
Let's
the?
draw the. I was gonna say let's draw the Ponder, but let's draw the Consultation. I think I'm fine with either of them. The reason to draw the preordain, not Ponder. The reason to draw the preordain would be that if something happens that significantly modifies our options, like they play a threat or they play a damping sphere, they play a sphere of resistance, a trinisphere, something of that nature, the preordain at least has some text.
Yeah. He might just start eating my graveyard. What is this?
They have
Mincing
one card in
Bill.
hand. I'm completely fine with that because they can't really kill us from this position. They potentially don't have a red blast. The one challenge is we are turning on red blast by killing the collector oof.
Do we have to kill the collector oof? Is there a
I
pile that we can make that we don't with?
That's a good point. I don't think we actually have to. Hold on. Yeah, you're right because if we miss our land drop, we dark ritual demonic. Yeah, because we're using all of our mana, so we need a land drop plus the sapphire to time walk.
Okay. So we're gonna kill this collector who's still in combat, right?
So they're hitting for 8, which would put us to 6. The dismember puts us to 2, and then the rainforest puts us to 1. So we have to decide how committed we are on this. We
I think
could kill the oof pre-combat. We don't want to fetch because we want the preordain
yeah, I think
to
we
start our
well if
consult.
we kill so if we pay, right, and then we kill the oof, that's 4, right? So we'll take
Right.
4, and then we'll take 2.
Well, we'll take 4, then we'll take 6, or because of that, so we'll
So
be
we'll
at
take
4.
4. Okay.
We're saving 2 damage if we do it in combat. So let's go to combat and let's kill it in combat.
Okay.
The life doesn't matter because if their last card in hand is a pyroblast,
Then it's a pyro.
so be it. Yeah, so be it.
I don't think that they would have played the boo um without.
Yeah, that's my thought as well. Is either that or they didn't think we were in a position to just win the game.
Yeah.
Now, granted, the consultation could remove our Gust,
Correct.
but they didn't remove our Ancestral Recall.
And we'll be able to draw with that and have Sapphire unlocked now too.
Yes, correct.
So we should be
So
good.
just do not fetch.
Yep, no fetch.
What would be real awkward is if their last card in hand is like a Lightning Bolt.
Yeah.
Can we win without Lightning Bolt?
No, there's no
Or
way.
without fetching due to Lightning Bolt? I don't think so, because if our Gust gets removed, we need this extra land.
Yeah. Have a bolt.
Oh, it was the 7th card.
What do we lose?
Nothing relevant. They could also have Mindbreak Trap. That would be somewhat awkward.
Yeah.
They use their misstep,
Okay.
but I'm
Yes.
still interested in playing a Gust pile.
So what, we
I
preordain
guess
into
it doesn't matter, because we could recall into Lotus, Time Walk, and Irrelevant, and then have 2 Thassa's Oracles.
well, I think I'm gonna preordain into recall. So yeah, we preordain, get ancestral into
Recall into Black Lotus,
Salsa
Time
Fluster.
Walk,
Oh, we took out a
Thassa's
fluster.
Oracle. So I think we can get Black Lotus, Time Walk, Thassa's Oracle. You preordain into recall. You draw Lotus, Thassa's Oracle, Time Walk. You play Lotus into Time Walk. Then you untap and play your Oracle.
oh, then we have double. Okay, wait. So ancestral, Lotus, Oracle, Time Walk.
Yeah, because you're untapping with 2 Oracles
Yeah.
on that Time Walk turn and 0 cards.
Yep.
So I think that is the stack.
It done.
Oracle. Doesn't matter. Lotus and Time Walk Ancestral. If they stop your Ancestral, it's just done anyway, right?
Yeah.
We could have a Surgical Extraction as well, actually, which would mess with our pile.
Yeah.
So they did have the Pyroblast.
Okay, they had it. We lose.
Wow. Pretty unreal there. I mean, they had a million things they could have, but
yeah. Are we interested in the flusters?
I'm interested in a fluster. I'm interested in a surgical.
Surgical, really?
It gives us the knowledge of what's in their hand. We can surgical Pyroblast. We can surgical Wasteland. They're playing Renin 6, so obviously they're trying to abuse the Wastelands. I'm cutting a Lotus. Well, I'm cutting the Voidwalker for sure on the play, and potentially the Lotus Petal, just because we know that they have potentially 4 Collector Oofs.
Yeah. Okay. I'm ready.
Yeah, I think we are. That was just unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 card in hand. Granted, it's not really a known deck.
I think we keep this, right?
No, I think we have to mulligan. We don't really want to be the forcible deck in this matchup.
Okay.
And I think we keep this and Honestly, I'm thinking we bottom the Dismember and just go turn 1 Ponder and
Try to go
try to
off
turn
turn
2 them.
2.
Yeah, turn 1 Ponder, go off turn 2.
See if they decide to mulligan. Oh. Remember, done.
Okay, so we keep Watery Grave, Dark Ritual, Ponder. Well, Dark Ritual, then Ponder, then Watery Grave. We want to draw the Watery Grave.
Actually, maybe we're supposed to draw the Dark Ritual so we could Dark Ritual and Time Walk all in one turn.
I was more concerned about them just leading with a Wasteland.
Yeah. We Time Walk.
I mean, the tell that they have is that they have a Pyroblast.
Then maybe I just ponder.
I'm probably very interested in Time Walk here because if they Pyroblast it, we don't really lose anything.
What if we just led with ponder?
We know there's a Dark Ritual on top, right? If we Time Walk and they Pyroblast it, we're not really any worse for wear.
So we'll hit.
If they don't Pyroblast it, we untap, we draw the Ritual, and then we have like Doomsday. They can't really interact with Doomsday, right?
No.
They have Veil, they have Surgical potentially.
Yeah.
I feel like our hand is very isolated against that.
So do you want to just Time Walk? I guess.
Well, the problem is we're going to be drawing a second Dark Ritual.
So I think we ponder then.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. If they Wasteland, we can Gush to draw a couple of cards. So I'm not interested in the Dark Ritual. I am interested in the Force the Will. And I'm interested in the island, so I think I put the island back Force the Will and then draw the Force the Will because if they Wasteland us now, do not shuffle.
Yeah.
If they Wasteland us now, we just let it happen, and then we Dark Ritual, Doomsday.
With Force backup.
If they don't Wasteland us, we Doomsday Gush with Force backup. Like, it's not perfect. They're playing slow.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that their hand is blank, right?
No.
There's a lot of weird cards that could interact with us, and I just have no idea what this deck all plays. That's fine. Don't even care about it.
We can Dark Ritual. We can Time Walk, Dark Ritual, Doomsday all in one turn next turn, right? No. That's 5 mana. We'll have access to 5 mana.
Because we're drawing the island.
Yeah, so we can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm interested in Time Walk first, and then Dark Ritual, Doomsday, and then setting up a stack that essentially can win through most things that they could potentially play. Surgical, Mindbreak Trap, Exile, Pyroblast.
Yep.
They're playing into a Mindbreak Trap, which is what it is. You're playing into a mental misstep. They don't always have mental missteps, though.
Yeah. Oh.
So what stack wins here?
Flusterstorm. We just draw Fluster.
I think we want Ancestral in case they have a Surgical Extraction.
Well, what if we just Time Walk loop them? Flusterstorm, Time Walk, Thassa's Oracle. We took out the thought. So wait, we could draw for turn. Is a Time Walk. We Time Walk and Gush and one, or we draw Flusterstorm, and we Gush into Time Walk, Oracle.
We draw the Flusterstorm. We duck with 2 blue floating into Oracle, and then we just cast 2 Oracles with 2 cards in hand.
No time
Or with
walk?
2 cards in back, rather. I mean, we could probably throw a time walk in there if necessary. We could also throw, like, I'm interested in throwing the Gitaxian Probe in there, just in case surgical extraction.
Yeah.
So Gitaxian Probe, and I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter. Surgical. So I would throw Gitaxian Probe in there, and I mean, we could just draw Time Walk again, yeah. And if they counter the Time Walk, well, we draw Fluster. But yeah, we could draw Fluster, then gush into Time Walk, Oracle, and then have Oracle and Probe as our last cards. The Probe is there just to isolate us a little bit against like surgical extraction.
Yep.
Because mathematically, our gush could get us either Time Walk or Gitaxian Probe potentially.
So let's do Oracle, Gitaxian Probe, or let's do Oracle.
Oracle, Gitaxian Probe,
Oracle,
Time Walk, Fluster Storm. And then let's go to our Time Walk turn.
Yep.
And then float 2 blue off of the non-pain land and gush.
Yep.
Tapped out, I can't imagine they have 2 things that interact with us, right? Like, worst part would be Elvish Spirit Guide into Veil into Red Blast off of another Spirit Guide.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna Fluster.
Yeah, Fluster for 3.
What am I doing? Oh, this. Got.
Play the, well, I was going to say just play the Oracle.
I just wanted to dig a little deeper. Okay, there we go. Yep. Okay, we are on the play. Not me. Oh, that name seems super familiar.
I know Not Me's in the Discord. Haven't actually been talking some Doomsday, so I'd be not surprised if we're in the mirror.
I say we keep this. This is pretty strong. It's like a turn team Doomsday. And we can filter.
Yeah, I'm not super happy about it.
Let's keep it.
Yeah, I'm fine with that just because of Fluster Storm. I think I go Fetchland. Maybe Lotus Petal.
I think we do Fetchland, Lotus, Pass.
Yeah, because I'm more interested in keeping Ponder in the opener.
Yeah.
Let's see what they're doing first.
Yep. Okay, they are not Doomsday. I'll let this resolve.
Fine with them having the yeah, I'm fine with them having the info.
Yeah. Trop. What is Trop? Emerald's fine. Am I gonna get oofed? Well, we can still get it.
Yeah, that's for the Surveil land.
Yep.
I'm going to be really aggressive with the Surveil land, and depending on the match, since they know our hand, I'd actually almost keep that on top.
Oh, put on top?
Just because, yeah, I love Flusterstorm. I'm not interested in casting Doomsday without more gas now that they know our hand, because they can play around what we're doing. Their opener is telling me they're either on Slug or they're on both.
Yeah.
So now I'm interested in playing Fetch Land and then probably just playing Ponder.
Part of me wants a
All right, you think,
Sapphire. All right.
so I would put Thassa's Oracle, Sapphire, Ponder on top and draw the Ponder. That gives us the most potential options next turn as far as fetching away the Sapphire if they do play an Oof.
Yep. That makes sense.
In
I don't know what.
conversations I've had publicly with Not Me, they seem pretty solid with their choices. So I'm
Yeah.
imagining that they're not going to run out an Oof, especially knowing our hand, and just die.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give them a reason to run out an Oof, though, with Sapphire on top of the deck.
Yeah. Okay, they're
Okay, it's
Oath.
all cool. So now with that said, I'm not too worried. I don't necessarily want the Sapphire right now
Okay.
because I have four lands and they know our hand, so they're going to play slow. So I'm more interested in just getting another random draw off the top of my deck.
So we'll
I would
fetch.
probably get the Watery Grave. The damage doesn't really matter if we need it later, but I'd probably just get the Watery Grave. They know we have Flusterstorm, so if they have Ancestral with 6 cards in hand, they go up to 8. We untap with 2 Flusters in hand.
Maybe just Ponder.
Yeah, and I would fire off the Ponder.
We do Sauce's Oracle, Preordained Force.
Well, the Force doesn't actually give us anything, and the Preordained's going to hit Thassa's Oracle blank next turn.
So do we just shuffle this all away?
I'm interested in shuffling, because if they play an Oath, we just accept that. Like, we're in a race situation. They didn't jam one out, so I think we shuffle and try to hit something.
It's almost something.
And we're not in any rush right now, so I'm passing. And if they cast Show and Tell, I'm going to brainstorm to try and find Necropotence before determining if it results or not.
Okay. Makes sense.
I mean, it's interesting that they're not strip mining here.
They'll probably do it
They
in my
probably
upkeep. Oh. Then I'm
that
just
sounds
gonna
fine.
play this land and pass the turn, I think, right?
Yeah, if they play a Show and Tell, you dress down. If they play an Oath, you can dress down with the Oath trigger on the stack.
Yeah. Fine.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's how Kovold got me, was with top game 1. Just filtering constantly.
Put there were 7 cards in hand in the middle game. They wouldn't be too excited about a top, but
Yeah. I'm gonna cast this Preordained.
Preordained.
Put on bottom. On top. Cast this.
Whereas I would have taken the Preordained just to I would have done it the other way, taken the other Preordained and Preordained again, just so that you see Scalding Tarn plus Unknown. It gives you know what the top card of your deck is, what currently is the top card of your deck, allows you to make more decisions. But I absolutely was interested in the fetch line because of Brainstorm fetch, because the dress down doesn't really do anything when you're on the offensive. And if you don't find anything to turn on this Doomsday, we might actually be in the part of the game where we're trying to assemble the Demonic Consultation Oracle.
Yep.
So we have plenty enough mana to make that type of thing happen. So I'm more interested in churning through as many cards as possible, right? So if I preordain one more time, I still have the Scalding Tarn or the top card of your deck.
Yeah.
You're one card deeper.
Would we ever brainstorm at the end of turn here?
Depends, especially on what they do. They have 7 in hand. If they're not going to do anything, I'm not incentivized to do it.
That's
They might
fine.
have the Ultra Druids. They might have the Ultra Druids here.
I mean, we can't fluster it, right? Well, we could brainstorm.
If they have the Ultra Druids, you do have the Dress Down.
Yeah.
And then we do have Doomsday with one Flusterstorm into double Flusterstorm into Brainstorm.
So maybe we let the time walk go.
Yeah, and if they do a show and tell, we just fluster it, which they know we have one fluster, and they know we have Doomsday. So they did have the O.
So when do I dress down?
I would dress down because we have the Flusterstorm.
Do I do it with the trigger on the stack?
We're at the point where if they have a force negation, they'll just hardcast the force negation. So I think we want to do it on our end step, because if we do it on our end step, it stays through their turn.
Well, it's during their turn. We would need to dress down at the beginning of their upkeep.
No, the way dress down works is it says at the end step. So if you cast it on your end step, it stays through their turn.
Okay, but so they just time walk. So when am I supposed to cast? Aren't I supposed to cast it once
on this end step? So you let the ult resolve, and then because they have to pass priority to the end step, on this end step, you cast the dress down.
Okay.
And the reason I'm doing that is because while Force of Negation is a card they could have, right now they'd have to pitch a card. Whereas if they untap, they're just going to cast it anyway, right?
Yep. So now we cast it, right? Oh.
Yes, now you cast it.
So
it doesn't matter if it's in response to the token or not, but you just want to cast the dress down.
we do a ponder. Okay.
The one thing they could do is put the ult on the stack and then Bosage you your dress down. That would be somewhat awkward.
They'd have to have two.
They would have to have their second Bosage. The deck normally does play 2.
Okay.
This has been a really weird game as far as how things have progressed. What had they been? Show and tell, demonic, one cluster storm, no force of will.
They got rid of one.
Oh, they did get rid of one. I'm assuming they have double counterspell. I think here I am incentivized to brainstorm. We have 4 cards in hand plus a 5th with the Sensei's Divining top.
Yeah.
It gets exponentially worse for us with Oath of Druids. I think I'm very much so incentivized to brainstorm. Put Doomsday and one Ponder back, and then fetch, because my plan is the Dark Ritual Doomsday double Flusterstorm kill them.
Yeah.
The awkward part here, though, is they could actually pay for a Flusterstorm.
Yep.
They have a ton of mana, but what else can we do?
True. We also have a ton of mana. Should we lead with a ponder, you think?
No, because we have to pass the turn with Doomsday if we ponder.
That's if we don't find a
And that,
cantrip, right?
but they're gonna hit yeah, if we don't find a cantrip, so we're pondering just to try and hit another cantrip. Why wouldn't we just keep ponder? They have 6 mana available.
The 1, 2.
Their fourth will would be 3. Our first fluster would be 4. So if they pay for that, we fluster again and hope that they're not playing double fluster or have double counter spells. And then
Yeah.
we have ponder on the backup. So I think we just have to go for it.
Yep.
I think they're F6. Oh no, they're not.
I think we go like time walk. We go gush, time walk, oracle thoughtseize. Gush.
I'm interested in putting the Thoughtseize and the Pact in the pile if possible,
Yeah,
because
gush,
Thoughtseize doesn't stop them from having something off Sensei's top.
gush, thoughtseize. Ah.
We have the one Oracle in our hand.
Um,
We could, with the mana we have, we could even throw another. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter.
not the top.
So Thassa's Oracle,
So we're gonna
yeah.
ponder the gush, time walk, thoughtseize, the double
I
orc.
would put, yeah, Time Walk, Thoughtseize.
So it's gush to time walk, thoughtseize.
Draw the Pact negation off the Time Walk turn and try to kill it. I mean, we might have enough mana. I'm not looking at it too closely. We might have enough mana to try and Thassa's Oracle them with 2 cards.
Oh yeah.
So like
So
if you draw, oh yeah, like I would probably put,
ah,
the way they're playing it, they might have Stone Nothing. Do not shuffle.
no, we do not want to shuffle.
Float a blue
Blue.
and return the Surveil land and no, return the Watery Grave in the Underground Sea because the 2 damage doesn't matter, but we might need that land depending on what they have.
Yep.
Okay, so now they're gonna top. Yeah, they're looking for something. I'm actually really surprised they don't have other ways to interact right now. The way this game is turned out,
Right.
that dress down was huge for being a time walk.
They.
Literally all it was this game.
Are they going to veil? No, they're gonna. I think force a
Arcast.
negate. What is it? You gotta tap orchard or
Yeah, it was tapped for the wrong blue. I'm guessing it's a force negation.
yeah.
And we fluster with the blue.
Which they know about the fluster. Same targets.
I'm wondering if they're playing this to have their own fluster.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But we out fluster their fluster, I'm pretty sure.
As long as you click correctly. The interface on this is horrid. You have to let that resolve. And you have to make sure to click each. So now you have to click like each one. The interface is stone wretched.
So how
You
do
target the first one.
oh, this one right here.
Yep. And then you let the storm trigger happen.
Hit okay.
Yep. Then you have to target the second one.
Yep. Third.
The third one.
Fourth.
The fourth one.
Fifth. Sixth. Seventh. I have an extra
And then
one.
one
So
at one of theirs, yeah.
hit okay. And then we can still pay one.
Well, we still have our land drop, don't we? Or did you play it back?
We
Yeah,
still
we
have
still
our
have our
land
land
drop.
drop.
Yeah.
You can still Thoughtseize. You can still Thoughtseize them into.
That's if this gush resolves. They could still have Force of Will this entire
They could have
time.
Force Blue card with the Sensei's top. If they have that,
because we're
more
gonna
power
have
to them.
we're gonna have to pay one no matter what, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, if they use their strip mine to pay one.
Yeah. This is the first time I'm using Flusterstorm on a Flusterstorm in Magic Online.
Yeah, it's wretched. I'm not even super concerned because if they do stop us, we draw Time Walk. They obviously Atraxa into gas. We cast Time Walk. If they counter it,
We're dead.
we play the Oracle. If they don't counter it, we draw and then play our Oracle with a counter spell backup. So it's not terrible for us.
I don't think we get that deep because we're only 4 cards in. So what I need to do, hit okay?
Yeah. It's okay.
I'm very worried about some of these okays.
It's okay.
Okay. Sorry, Mike. It's just very awkward and hit
No,
okay.
I think you're
one more time.
I think you're fine.
And then I have to hit okay one more time, right?
Yes, it doesn't look like they paid for theirs, so you click OK. They had the Force Will blue card.
What are they gonna? What are they forcing?
They're forcing the gust.
So we hit okay.
Yeah, so they're at 0 cards. Play your Water Grave tap. We're at 8. That's awkward. So yeah, play your Watery Grave tap.
If we had played the Surveil, got the Surveil land back, that may have helped.
I still think we're fine. I mean, they have to. So, would you like to pay no life? No. The old deck having triple counter spell is pretty good with 4 cards in hand.
Yeah.
So now they get an Atraxa. They have to hit a Force Will. They have to hit a Show and Tell or a blue card. They can't hit Time Walk.
Atraxa. Yep. Trigger. If we die.
So what's the 10 cards that they revealed?
How do
There's I believe it's the I symbol. I think that's the one, but that's all the revealed cards, and it's the last 10. So they did hit Force Will and Narset and Oko.
How do I know what they chose? Chose Mana
Craft,
Crypt, Underground,
Mana
Yawgmoth.
Crypt.
Ooh.
They have Yawgmoth Will in their deck.
They have a time.
They have a time walk in their graveyard, yeah. So they're playing a really
Or call.
awkward list of oaths. All right.
Okay, I think we're just dead then.
Yeah, we're dead to the Yawgmoth's.
Okay. Word?
Okay,
Okay.
so sideboard. Surgical for sure is coming in because they're playing a combo version. Dress down's coming in. Force is coming in.
I think Island can come out.
Island comes out. Mystical Tutor comes out.
Even though this is old.
Interesting because this oath is a little bit different. And then you could take out a
Maybe
like
a
a Preordain or a Ponder.
maybe cut a Ponder usually.
I mean, the Chain of Vapor is not great because they're a combo version of Oath, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's keep the Ponder and cut Chain of Vapor. Yeah.
I mean, we put up a good fight there.
We could have probably built a better stack, but it is what it is. They killed us before the stack mattered anyway.
Yeah. Is keepable?
It is keepable. I'm not super thrilled about it, but it is keepable.
Let's just pass the turn.
Interesting to note that they are playing Narset.
Yeah.
I mean, Yawgmoth's is obviously a huge one, but Narset is
I always like
important to note.
Yawgmoth's in Oath. I think it's very strong, very good.
I don't in the show and tell heavy list, but yes, otherwise I like it. Yeah, graveyard that.
Not bad. I think we just time walk, right? Or do we brainstorm?
I passed the turn.
Just pass the turn?
Yeah, I passed the turn. I'm gonna try and brainstorm and set up a turn 3 here.
Okay.
I'm convinced Not Me is not going to tap out uselessly.
Yeah.
So they're not just going to jam an oath for no reason, right? Like, so now I'm into the brainstorm into fetch. See, so now we found the Thoughtseize. We can put back the Force of Negation. And we can probably put back the Dress Down.
And then we fetch.
And then we fetch, yeah, and probably a Watery Grave. But you could also get Underground Sea just because if you draw Gush.
Yeah, let's just get the
That
underground.
line was confusing to me.
Yeah, for a second.
I guess unless he's expecting us to have opposition agents.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm interested in firing off the Thoughtseize first. Their own brainstorm.
Either that or ancestral response.
Just forcing it.
I think I just
Sure,
let
that's
that.
fine. Yeah, that's fine.
And then what do? Do I preordain?
So part of me was thinking Vampiric for Black Lotus to give us the mana to Demonic for Consult, fastest Consult with Force backup. But
Could do that.
I think we preordain to try and extend our land.
Here comes the ancestral. I think we let this resolve, right?
3 cards in hand. They could have Fluster. Let's force removing Thassa's because Demonic and Vamp, we can set up a Doomsday line.
Well, wouldn't we just get rid of the Time Walk? I feel like that's our weakest card.
Yeah, you might be right because if we hit a land, we could still Vamp for Consult and just get them. I'm assuming that they have Flusterstorm here.
Yeah.
But I mean, they could also force a negation here because we're on our turn, or Mindbreak Trap our entire stack. Okay.
Happens.
I mean, if you're that prepared for combo, okay.
Yeah. So what do we do now?
Vamp for our own Ancestral.
Okay.
Oh, we can't do anything about that, but put in our Oracle to see 2 cards.
Do we do that?
I mean, they're putting an Attraction play. We're probably sunk anyway. I mean, their draws were so above average.
Yeah.
Sounds a day late there. Put the dress down on bottom. Draw the Force Will just to potentially hit a blue card. I mean, I guess we're going to Vamp anyway. Neither of those cards were that great. What did they reveal? Hit the eye. Lotus Yawgmoth
Force.
Will.
Okay.
And a Force Will, so they could keep Lotus, Force Will, Yawgmoth Will. I think that's Yawgmoth Will, isn't it? Lotus Force, Yawgmoth Will attract Ultra Druid Scalding Tarn.
Yeah. We put into play a creature.
I mean, the creature doesn't matter.
Did they Yawgmoth's Will re-show and tell? And get more
I mean, they could
cards?
do that, but they could just
That might be the
keep
better
the Force
play.
Will. They could keep the Force Will. They can keep.
Yeah.
I mean, they could keep Oseju if they wanted to, but they keep the Force Will and attract to the have Force Will blue card. They keep Lotus Yawgmoth Will, and then they could just Yawgmoth Will for another Ancestral.
Yeah.
They could flat. I mean, knowing we have nothing, they could keep Flash Atraxa Lotus Yawgmoth Will.
Yep.
And see like 20 more cards. Oh, and they had the Orchard as a card in hand.
I think we just concede.
Yeah, let's just try to get our last matchup. I mean, I'm fine playing against Oath. We could have probably stacked a better pile, but 4 cards in hand having triple counterspell.
Yeah.
It's cooked. So he's going to be playing Doomsday or Beseech for sure.
We won the die roll. Okay, so final round. We keep this.
Yeah, I'm definitely into this. Knowing what our opponent is on, I guess that's one of the downsides of having a name.
Yeah. Keep this. I think we just go land.
I'm going land path.
Yeah.
And trying to surveil into another land.
Yep. He could also just be on. He's also very big into Breach, and he's also very big into Oops All Spells. So he could be on those.
I mean, he's big into anything that kills opponents fast.
Yeah.
With unnecessarily large chains.
Yep.
So I feel like double counterspells is solid.
See what he's on.
Like if they're on Oop, double
On
counterspell is
yeah.
pretty good. If they're on Doomsday, I think our hand's probably faster than the average Doomsday hand here.
Yep.
The only thing is they could have Fluster.
Yeah.
Because if they're on Doomsday, they'll have 3 to 4 Fluster Storms.
I kind of want
we
to
got
keep
our
that.
land. So I think we go
I think we
Dark
just
Ritual Doomsday with Force Pact backup
Yep.
into the Brainstorm kill. And if they do have Fluster, the game continues. If they don't have Fluster, the game just ends. Most likely, right? Because we have 2 counter spells.
yeah.
So I think we play the game of do you have Fluster? Or a ridiculous hand with multiple counter spells.
Yep.
It looks like a Fluster to me. Okay, game continues. Cool. The odds are high there, but I think with the way our hand is,
Yeah.
you have to just make them have it, right?
Yeah. Our hand was good. Ponder, that's fine.
I'm almost certain we're in a mirror match.
Yeah. I bet you our sideboard is way better.
Oh, there's still the possibility of being on Beseech, but Ponder, for combo aficionados, Ponder is much better for Doomsday.
Yeah. I think we brainstorm here, right? Or do
I
we
think I'm actually interested in passing turn and brainstorming on their end step. We're not
Okay.
really in a rush to get any lands.
Yeah, it's probably the mirror.
No, Beseech can't afford to play that land, so I would. Yeah, Lotus is fine.
Yeah.
Part of me was thinking of force and negation on that, but now I think
Same.
we just brainstorm for. Because even if we brainstorm lock ourselves with double force the will,
I think
okay,
we
put
just
chain and then put chain island back, draw the island, and then preordain put the chain on the bottom.
Yep. Do you
I'm
want
not
this
interested in
force?
drawing this. I'm not interested in drawing the third force the will.
Fluster Storm's nice. Okay.
The problem is if we don't find something relatively fast,
They're
we
gonna
could just get out attrition.
Yeah.
What's nice though is if we draw if we get another turn and we draw a blue card, we have triple counter spells up, right?
Is there ever a chance we let the Doomsday resolve and we just counter
Yeah,
everything?
technically we have triple up. With this hand, the problem is I'm confident that Bryant can quickly find a hand that beats us.
So what do we do
That's a
here?
storm 3, so if we fluster it, we are at storm 4, and they can just pay for it with 4 cards.
I think we just force a negated though?
I think we force a negate, removing
Oh.
probably removing force of will. I'm assuming this is not the end of this.
No.
So now you just let the fluster storm resolve.
Yep.
And now I think we fluster the Doomsday because we are in a position where they can just cast Doomsday without a ritual.
Yep.
And we can lose with fluster. So I think now is really our most opportune time to fluster.
He cracked for blue.
That's fine. Let the other fluster storm fall off and then fluster storm his Doomsday. You have to click same targets every time.
I know why he cracked his Lotus for blue, because he wants the Lotus in his pile, so now it's gone. Okay, he flustered again. I think we just... Now we gotta force it.
We do, yeah. Was that a triple Flusterstorm open? That was a triple Flusterstorm open. I considered that myself. If you're expecting a lot of Ponder mirrors, it might probably be right, but I still want the double force negations for the Jewel matchup. No.
Okay, well that was intense. I would like Dig Through Time or Ancestral Recall or something.
I mean, even a Ponder would be okay. That is not okay.
Oh.
That's a stupid island. An island that I really wish we could cut.
Got another Doomsday. Okay, he's on Street Wraith.
They're still playing Ray.
Okay, sure.
Pass turn and well, they could just hard cast the force negation. But let's pass turn and do this. Let's pass turn and do it on their upkeep, because if they have force negation, they have to hard cast it using their mana.
True. Okay. So
which gives us the opportunity.
yeah.
It gives us the opportunity versus, if they force a negation on our turn, they untap with 4 mana. It just attritions their mana a little bit more.
Yep. And we drew a force negation and our
and a Ponder and our Underground Sea. So force negation, unfortunately, is not great on the offensive.
Yeah.
This is a Doomsday for sure, fetching to maximize mana. Given that our hand kills them, I think we're just going to let it resolve, and then if they play a cantrip, we'll force to negate it.
Yep.
Granted, obviously, if they do have the cantrip, we're in a worse spot. But if it's past the turn,
if it's like Street Race, so that could be bad.
But Street Race would have to get Time Walker Ancestral or something.
Yeah. Well, if he was on 4 Street Race, he just Street Race, Oracle.
They're probably not expecting 2 force negations. That's a thing that Brandon Adams and I do that nobody else really does with Doomsday. It's strictly a one of and mostly.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of it myself, but I am a big fan of Brandon. I trust his opinion, and he says he never wants to really lose to Jewel, and I kind of agree with that mentality. So, if I went to the 4th Flusterstorm, I would cut the second pack of negation, or force negation, excuse me.
What about the misdirection?
I wouldn't play misdirection before playing a full 4th Flusterstorm.
Fair. Okay, let's look at his exile.
Pile, it looks like.
I like we didn't see, but yeah.
There's 4 Force of Wills there, so he doesn't have a Force of Will.
No Force of Wills.
He has 3 Flusters in the pile, so if he's playing 4, he has a Fluster.
Yeah.
There's no Duress there, so he's potentially has a Duress, and it looks like he's passing the turn to us. So we could go back into the game, and I don't want to take a ton of time there just because I'm always testing for paper events, and I want to treat this like a paper event. Okay, Lotus Petal. So I'm into casting Doomsday, and just I wouldn't even cast the Lotus Petal right now because you can cast it later. I'm into casting Doomsday and just going for it. They have one card in hand. They can't have Force of Will or Force of Negation. They have to have the fourth Flusterstorm essentially, or like something weird.
What do we want? Lotus.
Well, the Lotus Petal opens us up to Ancestral. The Ponder probably gets misstepped anyway, but just in case it is a misstep and they don't misstep the Ponder, we're in a position where a Gust Pile can still win us the game. I'm a big fan of doing a Gust Pile. Chances are the Ponder just gets misstepped anyway if the last card in hand is misstepped, so it's entirely up to you. I think
we
either
go
one
the
of them wins.
Ancestral, Black Lotus Ancestral, Salsa.
I put a Flusterstorm in there just in, or a Thoughtseize actually.
We wouldn't be able to ever cast a Thoughtseize, so I think it's just the
Well, if we're setting up a Time Walk stack, we could.
I don't think we are. I think we're just going to try to kill him right here, right now.
Okay.
So I think we're just going to go Fluster. So we're going to Ponder into Ancestral, Ancestral into Black Lotus, Fluster, Oracle. Oracle. So it's Oracle, Fluster, Oracle, Recall, Ponder.
It'd be real awkward if it's mental misstep. It is mental misstep.
Is it?
Or the fourth. I mean, he's paying cost. What else could it be besides
I haven't seen
mental
the mental
misstep? Oh, actually, it looks like he's. All right, so make sure you do. Yeah. Yep.
Off your library. No.
You don't live dangerously.
I mean, if he's got something, he's got something. I'm dead.
I'm gonna be real mad if he does have the mental misstep and he lets the Ponder resolve.
Well, the other Ancestral got through.
Cool.
Okay, sweet.
That's why I don't like passing the turn with Doomsday.
Yeah, but I think he had to.
Sheldred, Surgical, Dress Down, Force of Negation, Op Agent.
Voidwalker also probably isn't.
It could be cute. Now, I'm a fan of Chain of Vapor gone, Mystical Tutor gone, Lotus Petal is gone, Island is gone, a Dark Ritual could be gone.
Even though we're trying to speed out these things, though?
Yeah, that's a good point. Then, honestly, I think a Doomsday is gone just because we only have so many things that a Dark Ritual does.
Doomsday Ponder like this?
Yeah, I think that's fine. We could even keep the Lotus Petal in to get our turn one Sheldred more effectively. But if we do that, the other option is to lose a Thassa's Oracle or even the Vampiric Tutor since it's a Flusterstorm mirror.
I'm down to cut the Vamp, put back in the Petal.
Okay.
Try that. Okay, submit deck. Sure. His hand is bad.
His hand is very not good. That is true.
I think we keep. And we bottom I think we bottomed the Doomsday.
I agree that we bottomed the Doomsday. The Necropotence in this mirror with the way we sideboard has more upside with our current hand than the Doomsday does.
Nope. Do we let it resolve?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not happy about it, but I don't think that our hand is really primed to fight that.
I think we ponder though.
Clear it in before ponder.
Oh.
Because if we hit duds with the preordain, we can put them to the bottom, or we hit double Flusterstorm and keep those both.
And just hope to survive a
Now,
turn.
yeah, like we need a forcible survive a turn and then untap with double Fluster up.
Yeah.
Our hand is not really offensive anyway, so those Flusterstorms do allow us to get on the defensive.
Yeah. Time walk. Didn't draw very well, I hope. It's looking. Here's black.
That's a just. Oh, okay, sure. I was thinking the way he tapped and untapped that it's a gush in hand, thinking of mana. Still could be a gush, but
Yeah.
if they have Ancestral into turn 2, Time Walk, Doomsday, kill you,
They
we
have
just,
it.
we just bandage ourselves up for game 3.
Yeah.
Take our beating and commence game 3.
Yep. 4 mana, Shieldred. Well, we're gonna force pitching Time Walk.
I actually put Ponder here.
I think we pitched Time Walk because I don't think we want to ever really tap out, right?
Yeah, I don't see them countering a Time Walk, but yeah, you're probably right. We're not casting Ponder next turn anyway.
Yeah.
I'm imagining with that one open, they have Fluster or Daze. Okay, they're still playing Daze.
At least we get to
I
see what
hate
they
Daze
brought
so
in.
much. I think Daze is so bad.
Was the misstep in here? No. Where was it?
Potentially exiled it or put it in their stack, or they
Yeah.
are like me and cut it.
I doubt that.
What is it so sacrilegious to cut mental misstep?
I think for people who don't play Vintage much, yes. I think that's how they would see it. Because I still see him just as a legacy player, mainly. What got exiled? What did you...
I mean, there is a mental misstep in this deck.
The day...
There's one Daze.
This land for turn. Ponder. I think we just...
There is one Saildred.
I think we concede.
Yeah, I think we do too.
Okay.
I trust my opponent enough that they
Yeah.
are going to create a pile that kills us.
Anything that we want, and I think we're good.
Yeah, if they land Saildred, we just need to land one of ours.
Yep. Oh, man. Better? Okay, yeah, we'll keep this. We bottom a Ponder and we start off with Thoughtseize.
I am probably bottoming a
Ponder, right?
I'm probably bottoming a Ponder and starting off with Thoughtseize. There is an argument for Ancestral on their upkeep with double force backup, but I think the Thoughtseize is a better play. They have
I
days. I'm
think
actually interested in.
I think I just take the days, right?
I'm taking the days.
The days. This hand is really bad that they kept. I
Because
don't
like if
like
I'm
it.
gonna fight, I have to fight a counter spell anyway, irregardless of if I'm drawing a land, right? Because if I draw a land, I'm ancestraling, and then I have to fight through the days later if I take Force of Will.
Yep.
If I take the days now, they have to force ancestral unless they draw. They have one draw step plus a street race to
Right.
draw fluster. I
Yep.
am passing here. And in their upkeep, I'm casting Ancestral. The
Yeah.
only time I wouldn't is like I could potentially see myself casting Ancestral right now because they're tapped out,
Yeah.
just in case they hit a Flusterstorm. So I would cast the. Oh, well, you didn't have a chance. Yeah, so in the upkeep, I would do it. And if they have Flusterstorm, they have Flusterstorm.
Yeah. We're gonna force pitch your Oracle.
I mean, they have two new cards now, right? No,
Yeah.
one new card.
Force
Or
and
Yep, remove Oracle. They remove the Oracle. So we force removing Preordain because Ponder digs three deeper. I know a lot of times I think that Preordain before Ponder is good.
do you have a Flusterstorm?
They did.
It's fine. I mean, like, we now like know their hand is nothing.
Our hand is nothing too, though. Like we probably should have Ancestral after they fetch
Yeah,
on
that
our
was
end step.
probably the play. So just bad sequencing by me. Sure. You Doomsday. Do we ponder?
The chance of us hitting a non-blue in our current configuration is pretty low. So I think
He's a Sapphire Go.
I'm interested in Sapphire Go. Because the chances, like, if we ponder, we have to keep a blue card. And if
Yeah.
we hit, like, blue card dud dud and have to force, like, I'd much rather not ponder into ponder dud dud and then have to counter something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd rather counter something here and keep the ponder potentially on top of my deck. It'd be unreal to hit a Flusterstorm off of those two unknowns in a street race or one unknown in a street race.
Yeah.
Okay,
Consultation.
now I'm actually kind of interested in Ponder to try and see where I can go because I can consult for a blue card if necessary.
Yeah.
I'm actually really interested in taking Brainstorm and then immediately brainstorming into Dig Fetch Land.
I
You can't
think
undo it with this card.
then I messed up. I clicked
Put the
brainstorm
dig.
first.
All right, put the dig and then the polluted delta. Draw the polluted delta and play it. We can consult for
A blue
the
card if
ponder
needed.
or preordain if needed. Something or another forcible. We could even consult for a Flusterstorm now if necessary. And then we're going to draw dig, right?
Yep.
We're going to draw dig, and then with a dig, you can fetch and tap out for a dig at least, and you're also going to draw brainstorm if you don't fetch.
Yeah.
So depending on what they do, you still have options. I would have drawn the brainstorm.
Yeah, no, you are 100% right. Let's see.
The only thing I can think of is that Bryant is on 4 Flusterstorm and
Yeah.
had one in his Doomsday stack.
Yep.
We could always, if they Doomsday, obviously not right now, but if they Doomsday at some point, we could always live dangerously and try to get the opposition agent. You've never lived until you've demonic consultations for a restricted or a one of.
Yeah, but we can't. We don't have the mana for it, sadly.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like later in the game, like that's a line we can take.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna name Doomsday.
Or he's playing around. Force a negation here. Named Ponder.
Okay, so that's a tell that his hand is probably not great. Or he's just gonna try and kill us with Ponder immediately.
Yeah. Sure. It's got a. Okay. Well,
I want to fetch to put Brainstorm and Dig back in my deck.
fetch.
I want to get the Surveil land, and with the Surveil on the stack, I want to Demonic Consultation. Actually, we know the last card in their hand is a Ponder. So let's consult for a Flusterstorm, and let's not get the Surveil land. Let's get an Underground Sea. Let's consult for a Flusterstorm, and then just Flusterstorm the Doomsday. That way, if we draw a blue card, we have Force Will to protect against whatever they ponder into. God, I really wish we had the mana to just get opposition agents and wreck this game. What cards did we exile?
Us. A mental
Okay.
missive and a dark ritual.
No, that's them. We lost
Oh.
opposition agent.
Okay, we lost.
We lost a couple of things. As soon as they saw mental misstep, I'm like, we didn't lose that.
That's yeah.
So with one card in hand, Ponder could still set up a solid turn, but we should see a couple turns here because they only have 2 mana open.
Yeah.
And they have the black mana, but they have to ponder. So like if they ponder into demonic tutor, it could be bad for us. But
Yeah.
otherwise, I think that they're just gonna pass the turn.
Yep.
Best case scenario would be they shuffle.
Yeah.
And basically, we just don't want to draw a Doomsday, a Necropotence right now, or one of our lands. Because even Dark Ritual, they did not shuffle. Dush would be ideal, actually. Okay, it's a blue card. That's fine.
Yep. Third land.
Necropotence? No, another Doomsday.
Counter it. Me something game.
Position Agent. We exiled already. That would have been really good.
Pass the turn.
Well, how good was their ponder? Was it triple doom, like double Doomsday Underground Sea?
But we'll see.
All right. I mean, I guess yeah, we have to.
Mind resolve? Hell yeah.
Now,
I think we're doing
I
like a
think
gush Thoughtseize pile, right? What did we lose? Okay, we have our Thoughtseize. So a Thoughtseize, Time Walk,
Gush into
Thassa's.
Gush into Time Walk Thought Seize
I think it's a gush.
into.
Wait. We don't need the
So we gush into Time Walk Thought Seize,
Oracle. Yeah.
and then we Time Walk into the Oracle
Yep.
with a backup Oracle, and we just say you can't have 18 counter spells against us right now.
Exactly.
And they have to go now. Of course, a Flusterstorm.
I don't think Fluster fully beats us.
A Flusterstorm can't screw with us just because Gush, they Fluster. We have to pay 2. I guess we replay our land and play Time Walk. So yeah, you're right. One Fluster alone does not beat us. A Surgical could screw with our stack. Necropotence to draw a bunch of Sheldred. Sure, not an issue.
That kills us, right? Hmm.
So we go to 5. We Gush to 1. We Time Walk. We draw.
And die. Right?
Oh crap! Yeah, that does kill us. If we put Oracle in this and didn't go with Time Walk, we just win the game.
Yeah, but man, what their pile was just insane.
I mean, they pondered into Double Doomsday. No, they pondered into either Double Doomsday or Land Doomsday, and then they had Sheldred. So, all right. I think we played that poorly. I think the Ancestor Recall could have happened with the Surveil land on the stack with double Force Will against their single. We gave them a chance to fluster.
Yeah, so that was bad. I don't
The
know what
stack was
pile we
bad. The
could have
pile was
built.
bad.
Was the pile bad?
Yeah, we just put Thassa's Oracle there and Oracle with 2 cards in the pile and killed them at 1 life.
So just no Thoughtseize?
We don't need a Time Walk.
We don't need so we gush into
Because we
Thoughtseize
had
plus
2 cards
Oracle.
left in our deck, so we gush into Thoughtseize Thassa's Oracle. We Thoughtseize them, we Thassa's Oracle. And then if they have a counter spell or something, we Time Walk into the second Thassa's Oracle.
Okay.
Like, I think we got too greedy with the Time Walk.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to do some thinking on the piles. I'm super rusty with the piles.
hello YouTube. Let's do a little post league review. We went 3-2 with Solly's list. This is now with 4 Ponder. I'm still not missing the mental misstep. I'm pretty stoked. I don't think that card's that great right now because mental misstepping a Ponder, even beforehand, you were really only wanting to mental misstep like Sensei's Top, Vampiric Tutor, and Ancestral Recall. There's really not like a lot of good things that you can mental misstep. So right now I think cutting that is fine. When we played the Null Rod was really strong. I think Null Rod, there should be 2 Null Rods. So Solly's going to play a list like this this coming up weekend. I at a local tournament. From my insider knowledge, I know he top 8'd. It was similar to this. I don't think he was on the Teferi's realm, but he was on a misdirection and a pact negation, and he liked both of them. I still don't know if we need 4 preordained, 4 ponder. That might be too much. I don't think we need 4 Flusterstorm, And I think maybe there's a little bit too much Q stuff in this main deck for me, at least. Like the Chain of Vapor and the Dress Down. I don't know if you need both of them, but we can get into the Dress Down conversation when we review our game with Brian Cook, because I think that's the game that I at least had the most misplays on. So here, big misplay. Solly even told me to do this. I think I just clicked too fast and I let Undercity Sewers um untap because we already knew what their hand was from Thoughtseize. So we can just Ancestral Recall when they get the Undercity Sewers and we'll just be ahead. So that was my issue. I guess I just didn't fully read the trigger and I should have just done it in response. So that's my bad. And then the other misplay is when we went off and they got a Shieldred in play, because we made like a pile of Gush, Thassa's Oracle, Time Walk, Thoughtseize, my like traditional pile that I really like to do. Okay, so our game 3 versus Cook, we knew that he was at least on one Shieldred, and a lot of lists these days are only running one Shieldred. So we could have potentially played around this, even though he didn't have the mana for it. He could have always drawn a Dark Ritual or had another land and got Shieldred into play. So there's two options here. We can either do a Gush pile that our third card is just Thassa's Oracle and we win, or we can do like we could have did because we have Underground Sea Sapphire. We could have just did Gush, return these two, have 2 blue mana. As we draw a Gush, we'll lose 2 life. We'll lose 2 life. We'll lose 4 life off the Gush. Because we are at 15. We'll go to 1. We can't Thoughtseize anymore. But instead of this Time Walk, it could have just been Oracle. But I like to, as we were talking like in one of our previous videos, spots where Dress Down is good. I think this is a Dress Down spot where we could have Gushed, cast Dress Down, or even led the pile with Dress Down. We could have did Dress Down, Thassa's Oracle. We can still do this Time Walk pile if we really, really want to. One more Thassa's Oracle. So here's our pile. Our life total is at 7. We don't know that he's going to have Shieldred. We draw Dress Down for turn. We go to 5. We Dress Down into Gush. Float a blue. Gush. Now we draw Time Walk, Thassa's Oracle. This could have been a pact negation, actually. Even better. Let's go grab our pact negation. So we Gush. Now play this. Have to Time Walk because we have Thassa's Oracle, because we have Dress Down in play. Go away. We drew Thassa's Oracle. We untap. We draw our pact negation. Lose 2 more life. Go Island. Thassa. Pact. That would have been a very clean pile. That would have been able to be Shieldred. That was just something that wasn't crossing my mind. I was, again, way too hung up on Gush, Time Walk, Thoughtseize, not on a. It just didn't play around Shieldred, and that was something that we knew he had. So in the future, I need to, again, either slow down or think about way more possibilities than I had been. And Shieldred was one of them. I think Shieldred was his only out. He had one other card in hand, unless he had also demonic consultation. That was the only way that we would have lost that. So just food for thought in the future. Either way, I'm going to be doing a lot more testing with Ponder. I have my own lists that I've been working on and play testing a lot, so I'll put a video out for that. But I'm very interested to see how Ponder works its way into the meta. I think Doomsday is probably one of like the number one fits that people are going to look at. The next one is going to be like a Breach style deck, and then maybe we see like a Jeskai control list, like Jeskai Luris come back with your Dreadnought and your like Ragavan style, like just very like almost a Delver-esque deck coming back into play. So pretty interested to see how this all pans out. But I'll catch you all in the next video. Have a good one.